So you're thinking about starting a business, huh? Want to be your own boss, set your own hours, maybe even work from a beach somewhere.
Sounds pretty nice, doesn't it?
It does. But let's be real. The whole figuring out the best business to start thing, that can be a bit overwhelming, especially for us beginners.
Totally. You end up drowning in a sea of advice, and it's tough to know what actually holds water.
Exactly. So to cut through all that noise, today's deep dive is all about getting real about business models.
Love that. No sugarcoating.
None whatsoever. We're diving deep into this YouTube masterclass from an entrepreneur who's been there and done that. And they ranked business models from best to worst for beginners.
Oh, I'm intrigued now. Hit me with the best.
Okay, so get that the top spot doesn't go to those sexy business models, the ones that always seem to be trending.
Like becoming an influencer or something.
Yeah. Or drop shipping. Those get-rich-quick schemes everyone and their mother seem to be pushing these days. Nope, this expert's top pick. Service-based businesses. Specifically, junior freelancing.
Junior freelancing, huh? Interesting. I'll admit, it doesn't have that same initial sparkle as some of the others.
Right. It doesn't sound as glamorous at first glance, but when you dig deeper, it makes a lot of sense, especially for someone just starting out.
So break it down for me. What makes this junior freelancing so great for beginners?
Well, for one, the barrier to entry is way lower than a lot of other business models. You're basically taking skills you already have and finding ways to get paid for them.
Like, what kind of skills are we talking about?
Oh, things like social media management, writing, basic graphic design, even just being a virtual assistant and helping someone manage their email and schedule.
So someone could theoretically start earning income much faster than, say, someone who's trying to build a whole product from scratch.
That's exactly what the expert argues, yeah.
Yeah.
And while you're getting paid to do the work, you're also getting this amazing backstage pass to the world of business.
Backstage pass. Now that's a metaphor I can get behind.
Right. Think about it as a junior freelancer. You're often working directly with other businesses. So you get to see firsthand how things operate, what works, what doesn't.
You're learning by doing, and you're getting paid to learn. Not a bad deal.
Exactly. You learn about managing clients, pricing your services, scoping out projects, all essential skills no matter what kind of business you eventually want to create. Right.
Absolutely. It's like a crash course in entrepreneurship, but with a paycheck.
And the expert actually did this themselves. They used their freelancing experience to springboard into creating their own products, building an online audience. They're living proof this can be a successful path.
All right. I see where you're going with this. So if junior freelancing is the start here advice, what are the business models this expert says beginners should be wary of?
Well, they were pretty upfront about drop shipping and creating online courses, at least initially. They acknowledge that those models can be tempting,
That makes guts.
but they often require a steeper learning curve and come with a lot more risk, especially for someone just starting out.
That makes sense. Those models are often hyped up as being super easy and passive income and all that, which we all know is rarely the reality.
It's never as easy as they make it sound. And on top of that, you've got way more competition in those spaces.
I can only imagine. Everyone and their grandmother's trying to sell something online these days.
Oh, tell me about it. I swear, every time I open Instagram, it's just a constant stream of ads and people trying to sell me something. And that was another big point the expert made.
Okay, let's talk about that. What did they say about competition?
They basically said that if you're looking at something like drop shipping or selling info products, you're up against a massive amount of competition right out of the gate.
And it's only getting more competitive by the day, it feels like.
Exactly. And you have to think, as a beginner, you're going up against established players who have way more experience, more resources, bigger budgets.
So you're fighting an uphill battle from day one.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And the expert also pointed out that many of these popular business models require you to spend money to make money, which can be super risky, especially when you're first starting out. They actually use the word risky like a bunch of times.
Because it is risky, especially if you don't know what you're doing. And like we were saying before, when you're bombarded with all these success stories and easy money claims, it can be easy to underestimate the real risks involved.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's easy to get caught up in the hype and think you need to spend a ton of money on ads or fancy software to be successful.
When really, starting lean and focusing on building a solid foundation is key, right?
100%.
Yeah.
And that's where this whole junior freelancing thing comes back into play. It's like a breath of fresh air because it allows you to start earning money from day one without needing a huge upfront investment. Okay, so you've convinced me. Let's say I'm all in on this junior freelancing thing. Where do I even start?
Well, the great thing is you can leverage almost any skill you already have. Seriously, think about it. What are you good at? What do people always ask you for help with?
Hmm. I'm pretty organized, and I'm decent at graphic design. I guess those could be useful skills.
Exactly. And you know what else? Businesses are always looking for help with social media, writing, even just managing emails and schedules.
Yeah, that's true. I could totally see myself doing some of that stuff.
And the best part is, there are tons of freelance platforms out there, like Upwork and Fiverr, where you can find potential clients and start pitching your services.
Oh, so I wouldn't have to like cold email people or anything.
You can, but platforms like those take a lot of the guesswork out of it. They connect you with people who are actively looking for freelancers with specific skills. You create a profile, showcase your experience, set your rates, and boom, you're in business.
That sounds way less intimidating than I thought it would be.
And don't underestimate the power of testimonials and referrals as you start building your portfolio. Happy clients can become your biggest
Oh
advocates.
yeah, word of mouth is huge, especially in the freelance world.
It's everything.
Yeah,
Those testimonials are like gold, you know? When potential clients see that other people have had positive experiences working with you, they're more likely to trust you and take a chance on you.
it's like having social proof that you're the real deal.
Exactly. And as you gain more experience and build up your reputation, you can start charging higher rates and taking on more complex projects.
It's like you're constantly leveling up your freelance game.
Precisely. And here's where it gets really interesting that the expert in the video, they actually made a distinction between junior freelancing and what they called mid-senior freelancing agency.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
They said that transitioning into that A tier was where you could really start to see significant income growth.
Yeah.
But how do you actually make that leap from junior to more senior level freelancing? What does that look like?
Well, it often involves niching down and becoming a specialist in a particular area.
So instead of being a jack of all trades, you become the go-to person for a specific type of service.
You got it. Let's say you start out doing general virtual assistant tasks, right? But then you realize you have a knack for Pinterest marketing. You enjoy it, you're good at it, and businesses are willing to pay a premium for it.
So you double down on that skill, you really hone it, and you market yourself as a Pinterest marketing specialist.
Bingo. You become known for that one thing, and because you're specialized, you can charge more for your services. You're no longer competing with every other VA out there. You're in a league of your own.
So it seems like the big takeaway here is don't get swept up in those shiny, easy money business models, especially when you're just starting out.
Right. They might work for some people, but they usually involve a lot more risk, competition, and upfront investment than they let on.
Exactly. It's about being smart and playing the long game. And that's where our friend, junior freelancing, comes in.
Our trusty sidekick.
Yeah.
It's all about building a solid foundation, right? Monetizing skills you already have, learning the ins and outs of running a business,
Instead of chasing those passive income dreams that rarely live up to the hype.
which, let's be honest, can feel like a recipe for burnout and frustration, especially for beginners.
It's like setting yourself up for disappointment right out of the gate.
Exactly. And this is why I love this expert's approach. It's all about empowerment, not overwhelm. You're starting small, gaining momentum, and building confidence as you go.
And you might even discover a passion for something you never expected.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You never know where this journey might take you. Remember when the expert talked about using a Notion table to rank different business niches?
Oh, yeah. They were really into that spreadsheet, even had estimated salary ranges for each niche. It was pretty impressive.
It got me thinking, imagine having that kind of clarity as you explore different freelance options.
Instead of just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something sticks.
Exactly. You'd have this roadmap, this clear understanding of the potential income, the level of competition, the skills required for each niche.
It would be like having a cheat sheet for the freelance world.
Right. You could make informed decisions about which skills to develop, which clients to target, and ultimately what kind of business you want to build.
Talk about a game changer. So for all you aspiring entrepreneurs out there, my advice: ditch the overwhelm, start small, and embrace the journey. You got this. And hey, if you're into spreadsheets, maybe build yourself a fancy Notion table along the way. Until next time.